Hey guys, it's Edie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well, and in today's video we are going to be doing October's TBR. And I say this every time, but I can't quite believe how quickly this year is going. But anyway, I'm going to be using like the typical way I always do it. I've done it every single time this year, and it is by the TBR jar, and it's basically got prompts in this jar, and I put my hand in, pick one out, and I choose a book that hopefully I will read this month that correlates to that prompt. So I'm going to go straight into it, and I'm going to pick one out. It's going to be this one, and I'm going to show you guys first if I can open it. Okay, here we go. What's this say? A book with a purple cover. I feel like that is definitely going to be a romance book, because romance books always have like purple covers. Or, ooh, I feel like I could do this. I could do this fantasy book, Fear the Flames, if I can even get it out. Or I could do a romance book. Or do I go fantasy or a fairy loot edition of a book? I don't really know. It's a hard choice sometimes. I actually do think I'm going to go with a fantasy book. I do think I'm going to go with Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling, because I've seen everyone reading the second book in this series, Wrath of the Dragons? Yeah, I've got it right there next to it. Well, it was next to it. And everyone's crying at the ending of that book. And I'm like, I want to cry at the ending of that book. But I need to read the first book in the series first, so I'm going to pick this one up. And it's just a dragon romantasy. That's all I pretty much know. But I don't think there's as much dragons in this book compared to the second book in the series. I don't know much else about it. So I'm going to read the blurb so we can figure it out together. I'm definitely going to pronounce a lot of words in this wrong, so I'm sorry and bear with me because I'm dyslexic. But anyway, no one in Amara has ever seen a dragon till 5 long fossils hatched in the presence of their young princess. Eloine? Araf? I'm definitely pronouncing all these names wrong, I feel so bad. Fearing the power his daughter would wield through her soul bond with the creatures, King Garrick imprisons her for many years, desperately trying to break the bond that united them, until a darling rescue saved Eloine from his clutches, but left her 5 precious dragons at his mercy. Years later, Eloine is now a woman determined to free her dragons. Having established a queendom of her own, she is ready to do whatever is necessary to save her people from the starvation and seek vengeance against her father, even if that means leaving the home she built for herself, or having to ally with the commander of the Varith, definitely pronouncing that wrong, Caden Vales, the most feared and dangerous man of all in all the kingdoms of I don't even know what that word is, Raven, and her father's sworn enemy. The pull between Eloine and Caden becomes impossible to resist, even when trusting each other seems both reckless and essential. But with the threat of war looming over them, the imminent heist to rescue Eloine's dragons will be their most dangerous adventure yet. That was kind of very, very bad on my part for pronunciation, but I can't help it. I'm sorry. But this is the first book I've chosen. The second prompt is going to be this one, which is, give it open, a book with a black cover. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this one, the second book in, I don't know what the series is called, but the first one is called Bourbon and Lies. This one's Bourbons and Secrets by Victoria Wilder, and it's like a small town romance, and it follows the 3 what they called Fox brothers, and they basically run this like Bourbon farm. I don't know what it's like, whatever that is. They run it and basically make bourbon, and this is the second book in the series, I believe it is, yeah. So I can't remember. I remember one of them. Is it this one? I think it's the next one that I'm really excited about because of the 2 characters it is. But I'm still excited about this one because I did really like the first one in the series, and I see the potential this series has. But anyway, it says In Frisco, Kentucky, there is one rule, never fall for a fox brother. Any woman who did ended up dead. It wasn't just a rumour, it was reality. I buried my wife long ago with too many secrets surrounding the night she died. Now I'm single dad with 2 priorities above everything else, raising my 2 girls and making a great bourbon. When Faye Calloway returns after I ran her out of my small town looking like a fantasy on stage and nothing like a cop she was trained to be, I know for a fact that she's hiding more secrets than the one she blackmailed me to keep. While everyone is forced on the tertiary beautiful burlesque dancer, I don't know what that word is, I'm distracted by a woman with a hidden agenda, the smart mouth who says what she wants, and the instigator who prefers a very specific way to drink her bourbon now. As secrets begin to unravel, I realise she's fiercely protective of the ones she loves. When she puts herself in danger to right the past, the rules stop mattering. Only 2 things have the power to keep my family from falling apart and losing the woman I love: bourbon and secrets. This sounds so good. So good. And I just love the covers of this series. Like, the style of it. There's something about it that I just love, and the art, and it's just so beautiful. So I'm going to pick the 3rd prompt now, and it's going to be this one, which is, what is that? A book with a pretty cover, so that could be literally any book I want. Oh, I love that. I think I might actually pick one of my Fairy Loot subscription books, so let me go and have a quick look because I'm right up there on my shelf. I'm going to go with The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillick. Gillick, I think that's how you pronounce it, because look at this edition. Like, she is stunning. And this is a gothic fantasy, that's all I know. What month was it? It was Adults Fantasy Book for May 2025. And this book, basically, it says here, Sybil Delling has spent 9 years dreaming of having no dreams at all. Like other Funderling girls who traded a decade of service for a home at a great cathedral, Sybil is a diviner. In her dreams, she receives visions from 6 unearthly figures known as omens. From them, she can predict terrible things before they occur, and lords and commons flock alike, travel across the kingdom of Tumum, windsweep Moiras to learn their futures by her dreams. Just as she and her sisters, diviners, near the end of their service, a mysterious knight arrives at the cathedral. Rude and devilishly handsome, the knight Riddock has no respect for Sybil, I can't speak, Sybil's visions, but when Sybil's fellow diviners begin vanishing one by one, she has no choice but to seek his help in finding them. For the world outside the cathedral, Colossia, I don't know, is wrought with peril. Only the gods have the answers she is seeking, and as much as she'd rather avoid Riddock's dark eyes and sharp tongue, he's a why is so hard to read? Herrick can defeat a god. That is disastrous, my pronunciation, especially when it comes to fantasy books, because a lot of things are they come from the author's creations and they're not your typical words, and I just struggle with them. But The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillick is the 3rd book on October's TBR. So the 4th prompt is going to be this one, which is this. A book with 2 people on the cover. Ooh, what should I choose? I really, really, really want to read Ride With Me by Simone Soltani. Let me get this one out. I'll put those up there for now. But I've read the first book in this series called Cross the Line, and I gave that 4.5 stars. I loved it. And I was very excited about this one because it's like an arranged marriage, and that is my jam. That is my bread and butter. I love that. So I really want to read this. And I managed to get this from, I don't know if it was Blackwell's or West End, no, it wasn't Blackwell's, it was, I can't remember the store. It's an online store, but personally signed. Oh, I love that. I love that. And it came with stickers and bookmarks and everything. But all I know is a marriage of arranged marriage. But I'm going to read it to find out some more. And it says, Stella Baldwin thought life couldn't get any worse. Being left at the altar was bad enough, but the drunken rant she posted on her social media follows in the aftermath was the cherry on top. And having to show up at a cousin's bachelorette party in Las Vegas barely 2 weeks later feels like a cruel joke. Thomas Maxwell Brown is just looking for a good time, with his family expectations weighing down on him and his career as a Formula One driver threatened by fresh talent. What better way to decompress than with a stag party to Vegas? I guess you can see where this is going. I knew this was going to happen because I knew the book, but you can probably see where it's going. Anyway, Stella isn't the woman Thomas expects to meet that night, and Thomas isn't the man Stella expects to wake up next to the following morning with a ring on her finger. Sometimes what happens in Vegas doesn't need to stay there. I'm so excited. A drunken marriage in Vegas. Because that is how Play Along by Liz Tomford, the marriage in that started, and I love that book. It was so fun. So I'm very, very excited about this one. So the 5th prompt is going to be, I'm going to choose this one right at the top, and it is, why is it a struggle to open these sometimes? Here we go. I think that's the right way around. What's it say? The most colourful cover. Why is it all about colour today? Crazy. I don't really know what I meant by that. Do you know what I feel like? I feel like if I could get this out. Yeah, this is a pretty colourful cover, I think. This is actually the US edition of Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope, because I've got the UK editions, but I prefer the US ones because they're so colourful. And look at the flop. Obsessed. And I got them off Books Please, and they ship cheaply. So this is it. This is a cowboy romance. This is the first book in a cowboy romance series. So I've never read a No, I have. I think I have read a Paisley Hope book. I think. But I don't really know much about this one. But it's the first book in the Silver Pines. I can't think of the word series. That's it. That's what I was thinking of. But anyway, it says here, Cecilia C.C. Ashby is finally escaping the toxic relationship that has consumed her entire adult life. She is returning to her hometown of Laurel Creek, Kentucky, and to her family's horse ranch, unsure of what the future holds. Nash Carter, the newly retired superstar of Dallas Stars, is Laurel Creek hometown hero, local business owner, and notorious bachelor. He is also the unofficial 4th sibling in the Ashby clan. It's been years since the days of tormenting Cece with her older brothers, Wade and Cole. So when Cece needs a job, he feels drawn to help her. Nash can't seem to take his eyes off his best friend's sister, and it seems she's been staring right back, but with animosity left over from his childhood teasing back in the day. Despite their initial reluctance, the fire between them ignites, and it isn't long before they jump into the flames. Brothers. Well, brother's best friend. So good. So I'm very, very intrigued, and I'm just excited to read this book because of how floppy it is, and I can just sit there and go and not have to open it like that. But this is the fifth book I've chosen. So this is now going to be the 6th and final prompt for choosing, and it is going to be, oh my god, there's loads in my hat. This is going to be it, and a book over 40 chapters. I'm literally just going to have to change my camera battery now, otherwise it's going to die, but I'll come back to you guys in a minute once I have chosen the book. It's now quite a while later because none of my other batteries ended up having any charge on them either. So I quickly charged one of them for a bit, so I am back now. But I have chosen one, and I've chosen a fantasy book because most of the fantasy books have over 40 chapters. And the book I've chosen is Shield of Sparrows by Devony Perry. I'm very, very excited to read this. I've seen a lot of people reading it and people like it. People have mixed feelings. But this book is, I don't want to show you guys because I don't want to spoil anything on it, but it's over 60 plus chapters long. So I'm going to choose this one, and I don't know much about it. I guess there's monsters, because it has on here, we fear the monsters we make. Because I've only ever read Eden series by Devony Perry, and I love that, and I want to read more of her books. So I'm going to read this one, hopefully. And let me read this so we can get a bit of an understanding of what it is. It says, "You're not terrified, you're doing it wrong. The gods sent the monsters to the 5 kingdoms to remind the mortals they must kneel. I've spent my life kneeling to their will and to my father's. As a princess, my only duty is to wear the crown and obey the king. I was never meant to rule, I was never meant to fight. I was never supposed to be the daughter who sealed an adjacent treaty to her own blood. But that changed the fearful day I stepped into my father's throne room, the day a legendary monster hunter sailed to our shores, the day a prince ruined my life. Now I'm crossing treacherous lands beside a warrior who despises me as much as I despise him, bound to a future I didn't choose and a husband I barely know. Everyone wants me to be something I'm not, a queen, a spy, a sacrifice. But what if I refused the role chosen for me? What if I made my own rules? What if there was power in being underestimated? What if, for the first time, I reached for it?" Is it some sort of like marriage? Because did she say my husband? Yeah, a husband I barely know. Very, very intriguing. I am hoping to get to this because I really want to do a reading vlog. Read it. I don't know. I don't even really know what reading vlogs I've got planned for October. I think I've written them down, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I'm hoping to get this in a reading vlog because I really want to read it. But it's very thick, it's very juicy, and I just think it's such like a beautiful cover. So I'm very, very excited for that. So I have now chosen all 6 books. Let me see if I can hold them up without knocking them over for my October TBR. So I'm just going to go through them again. So I've got Ride With Me by Simone Sultani. Then I've got Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope. Then I've got Bourbon and Secrets by Victoria Wilder. Then I've got Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. That was a bit of a... I don't really know what happened there. Then I have got The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillett. And then the last one I've got is Shield of Sparrows by Devony Perry. So those are all the books I have chosen for my October TBR. I'm hoping to get some of them at least in a reading vlog and posting in October. I'm hoping so. Don't know if that will actually happen, but I do try my best. And if you did like this video, do give it a thumbs up, and in the description below you can find all my other social medias: Instagram, TikTok, Goodreads, my Amazon wishlist, everything like that. And if you haven't already, do subscribe because you might see some of these books that I've done in the October TBR in October reading vlogs, hopefully. Fingers crossed, like I said. But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!